Hello again, friends. Joe here again. No, it's not Legfest, it's Flashfest today. We're at the end of the month, which again obviously means new characters. New summer characters, because we're in the thick of summer at the moment. And I played the event, so I'm like 99% sure that we're getting Summer Meg and some form of Poseidon. His sprite in the event looked like his normal outfit rather than what they had for his casual / summer outfit in the event, so we'll see what happens there. He might not be a summer character, he might just be a regular one, so we'll see. But yeah, those two characters I think are pretty much guaranteed, because like I said, these days at the end of the month, Legfest, they usually have characters that are previewed in the end of story event. So let us go and see what we get. Okay, Poseidon, yep. Ooh, there's 3 here, so we're getting some stuff. So yeah, Poseidon, water, spear, okay. Interesting. Summer Meg, yep. That is adorable. Dark melee, okie doke. Okay, Summer Metera. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long for her to get a summer ult. She seems like a character who would have gotten one quite a while ago. Oh, there's a Scamcha going on as well. That's bad news for my wallet. Oh, it's a summer one. That's bad news for my wallet. What do we get on here? Ingve, Kubera, Siegfried. And then I don't know, don't know about that. Might not get that. I have quite a lot of those characters. Anyway, first off, we gotta do this. We gotta see if we can luck sack it in a thing. No, we can't. Let's do our 90 yen draw, because I usually do these on the galas. Because you will pick up a few things here and there, but absolutely nothing. Cool. So let's check out these characters. Let's see what we have. Oh wow, they made... Wow, okay. Rest in peace, the no water grand meme. Okay. Didn't expect to make Poseidon, of all people, a grand. But okay, sure. Let's have a look at his weapon. Enmity, garrison, and damage cap. Interesting. Garrison, I think, already has a free water weapon. Enmity is, I don't know, I feel like Enmity is kind of a contentious topic in water. Like, I feel like there's been just almost like a meme where people think that war enmity is going to be a thing, or that it might be a thing. I don't know. There are characters in war that benefit from enmity, but they have their own passive buffs. That means that you don't really need enmity in the grid anyway. Like Summer Kololu, for example. You could make the argument that she is an enmity character, but she has so much massive self buffs that she has no problem capping, even if you don't have any enmity stuff in your grid. So yeah, especially as well since Water Primal already is kind of mostly stamina based, I think. So I don't know how much use this will see. Remains to be seen. Take a quick gander at these other weapons. Summer Megs, big crit and supplement crit. Okay. Is she gonna be a crit character then in Dark? Metera, medium stamina and sentence. That could be. I was gonna say that could be pretty good, but you already have Ichigo for stamina in Primal Earth, so maybe the sentence would make this usable. I don't know. Like I've said many times before, I'm not an endgame player, so I don't know. I don't have much knowledge when it comes to Primal stuff. But anyway, let's take a look at these characters. Let's see what they're actually all about. First up, Grand Poseidon. Charge attack, Massive water damage to a foe. Boost to all allies' water attack. Bonus damage to a foe with the Tide Father's Judgment effect. That looks like Shalim's Ogi. He might be a good. He might be a good OTK character in that. Actually, no, he wouldn't be because you presumably have to actually press a button to get this. So yeah. Skill 1, water damage to foe. Tide Father's Judgment effect. Raise Thunderstruck level by 1. Maximum is 10. Multi-attack rate is lowered based on... Okay, interesting. HP is lowered on every turn, attack and defense. So yeah, that's basically just like a Shalim, Noah, Shiva, Hao Mao debuff permanent thing. So these are probably, if I mind right, on all those other characters, these are like 10 or 15%, I think, in terms of attack and defense. Skill 2, water damage to all foes, boost to all allies, attack and defense. Stackable, 20% boost to charge bars, consumes all Tide Father levels, boost to specs based on number consumed. So does that mean, whatever this is, if you have more of them, that means you get more than 20% boost? So does this give the possibility of Poseidon being able to give you full bar on turn 1? Remains to be seen. Skill 3, boost to water allies debuff resistance, damage reduction and drain effect. Damage taken is lowered, can't be removed. Unremovable debuffs are nice. I was going to say a 5-turn Veil is nice, but this isn't a Veil, this is just debuff resistance. That still seems pretty decent. Cooldown's a bit high, I'd say. Passives. Deal triple attacks. Okay, cool. Low charge bar gain. Normal attacks deal 3 hit damage to random foes. Okay, so it's Valentine Grimnir. Interesting. When a water ally uses a charge attack, boost Poseidon's charge bar, raise Tide Father level by 1. Okay, so that answers my question of can he give a whole bunch of bar turn 1? Answer is no, because you have to have your other team attacking, doing Ogis first to raise that level. How does this actually change? So I want to know how this actually changes based on the Tide Father level. Does it give like more hits? Is it like presumably higher stacking? So it's a little bit after Gala started. I didn't wait until 4 AM like it normally starts. This is the afternoon after, so maybe all this stuff is up on the wiki and I can have a quick look and see if we have numbers. Apologies for the music going out in the background. Okay. So this water attack is 30% up. So the wiki says that it consumes the Tide Father levels and gives boost to activations. So that suggests it just maximum 10 times. So that sounds pretty nutty. If you have like this thing at max and you do this, it just activates 10 times. So that'll give you 200% bar for stuff like Vajra or Mirin, plus a whole bunch of attack and defense up and a bunch of water damage. Skill activation. That seems pretty nutty. So yeah, he seems... Like, honestly, my initial impressions wasn't that good until I saw that this is apparently just a straight up number of activations based on this. So obviously, I don't think he's going to be particularly great for short fights rather. Like I said, like you need to hit a button to get this the extra nuke on Ogi, and you can't really boost this turn 1 to get a whole bunch of extra bar. But for longer fights, he seems pretty decent. Like you have this, which will kind of over time, as you're activating it, lower the boss's multi-attack, which isn't a super important debuff, but in longer fights it does kind of add up to less damage being taken. Like the uptime on this isn't super great, but they're pretty nice defensive buffs. Actually, what is... So 100, it's 100% debuff resistance up. I don't remember how resistance in this game works with debuffs. If that is basically a veil. If that just makes you immune to debuffs. I don't think it does, but I think it makes you pretty resistant to it, so you probably aren't going to be taking many debuffs when this is up. It's also 20% reduced damage and a 1000 HP drain. So he seems good. I don't know how good. Like, this makes it seems like he could almost fit in like a... I was going to say if this could maybe make him fit in a Lucha comp, but I don't think there's really any space for him, because Lucha comp is basically Summer Lucio, Uno, and Zeta. Excuse me. This would be really good for a Lucha comp, but the problem is he doesn't have any kind of assassin. So, I don't know. I'm sure a bunch of people on Twitter and Discord and stuff will be doing a bunch of testing. Maybe it turns out this makes him good in Lucha, I don't know. He seems pretty good for longer fights. Like I said, I don't know how good he's going to be. I'm not sure that this is the Grand that maybe people were waiting over 1,000 days for, but he seems okay. He seems fine. Alright, moving on to Meg. Okay, so she's dark. Charge attack. Massive dark damage to a foe. Next, Shark in open waters affects all allies. End Shark in open waters cooldown. Okay, so we'll find out what that is in a sec. 4 hit dark damage to a foe. Hit to attack and defense. Stackable. Chum effect. Okay. Targeted by his skill. I'm guessing one of our passives is going to factor into this. Shark in open waters. This is the one that gets reset on Ogi. Boost the caster's critical hit rate, keen effect, and amplify normal attack damage for 3 turns. That means that's probably going to be up permanently. Like, you could probably... Like, yeah, that's... I mean, it's not going to be that difficult to be able to Ogi every 3 turns and keep this up permanently. Plus, it will affect the entire team. So this seems pretty good. Skill 3, dark damage to all foes. Sharp boost the caster's attack for 1 hit against... Okay, interesting. So it's... That's basically like Zeta's assassin. Her fire one anyway. She does her skill 1, which would be a nuke and also apply a similar debuff, and then she would get a bunch of assassin against enemies that have that debuff. So that's interesting. Swimwear and Yukata remind Meg of fun memories and enhance her will to protect Auguste. Boost the specs based on number of Summer and Yukata version allies in the party other than main character. Ha! That's... I'm trying to think, how many other Dark Summer and Yukata characters are there? There's Summer Amira, there's Yukata and Thuria. I don't remember who else there is in terms of Summer characters in that element. Does that include herself as well? Who can say? Bonus dark damage to affect all dark allies. Critical hits on... Okay, so that's just Summer Cagliostro's passive. But in dark. Interesting. Huh. So she is a crit character. I was right from thinking that based on what her weapon was. She seems pretty good. Like, I'm gonna see if the wiki has numbers again. Her assassin is 280%, so it's a proper decent assassin. Okay, so for this, she does count herself. So for one summer ally, she gets 30% perpetuity attack up for... Oh wait, how is this? How am I reading this? Okay. This table is confusing the hell out of me. So yeah, okay. So for one summer and Yukata ally, including herself, she gets 30% attack and 50% defense. For 2, she gets guaranteed triple attacks and 20% dark echoes. For 3, she gets debuff immunity. For 4, she gets a dispel cancel. Like, I don't know if these are permanent or not. And for 5, she gets damage cap up. So the fact that it goes up to 5 means that backline allies count as well. But in terms of dark characters in that category, I don't think this table's not complete because this counter is missing from here. So see, off the top of my head, you have Summer Danua, you have Summer Amira, you have Yukata and Thuria are the only SSR dark ones I can come up off the top of my head, but there's a few SR and R ones as well. So you might have to do some finagling to get this maximized, but even just getting 2, just so you have the attack and defense plus the echoes and guaranteed triples, it shouldn't be too hard, assuming you have the characters, of course. But she seems pretty good. Like, dark crit grids do exist. Like, there's, what is the Avatar gun grid, I think, is a crit grid. I don't think they're that great or really worth building. So, I don't know how much. It's just, okay, this is 70% crit chance. So, okay, so maybe you don't really need a crit grid for this. But yeah, I don't know how she will fit into the dark meta, because obviously all of dark is basically just like Akasha farming, you know, Predator, 6, Summer Zoe, Nier, Ray. So I don't know how she's going to fit into stuff like this, but I think if you're not being a total meta slave farming gold bars, she seems pretty good. Like, I would try and use her. She seems like a fun character to use. Finally, let's take a look at Metera. This video is going to be longer than normal because 3 characters are already up to like 20 minutes. I'll try to not drag this on for too long. Her Ogi, massive earth damage to a foe, 2 turn cut to Sun-Kissed Blooming's cooldown, bonus to earth damage based on ethereal seal count, max 5 hits. I think that's similar to one of her other versions. Starry Sky, 5 hit earth damage to a foe, 5 ethereal steals to cast. So this is basically exactly the same as her Christmas version. Except I don't remember the debuffs actually. Random debuffs to foe based on number of ethereal seals upon cast. Interesting. Earth damage to foe, delay effects. When foe has 10 or more debuffs, activates twice. Interesting. Double delay. Earth damage to foe. Instant CI stand by the caster. End cooldown for other skills. Okay. So basically, turn 1, you hit both of these. You hit this, which lets you hit both of these again. Because you have 5 of these from the first time you hit it, you get a bunch of debuffs. If you get 10 debuffs on the attack, you'll get a double delay, which you can save this for a couple of turns later. Then you Ogi, which gives you a 2-turn cut to this to kind of get this back up quicker, and you get a bunch of more damage from your Ogi because of you had this. So interesting. Let's see our passives. Consume 1 ethereal seal upon normal attacks. They deal 4 hit earth damage to a foe. Boost to attack and defense. Supplement earth ally skill damage. Okay. Interesting. Earth does have like skill damage spam. Obviously you have Lobelia, you have stuff like Sores, so maybe she could she can fit into that kind of thing, especially if she's this as well. I'm assuming this counts as skill damage as well, so she just attacks normally and then she gets a bunch of a big 4-hit nuke afterwards. She seems pretty good as well. She seems really simple, but pretty effective, is my first impression. I don't know if she's quite on the same level as some of the other busted Earth limited characters, but she seems fun for skill spam. Yeah, honestly, not much else to say about her, to be honest. Like, she seems like pretty simple. And not in like a necessarily a bad way. Like, she seems like she can put out a lot of damage depending on the numbers of these damage skills. I'm going to take a quick peek at the wiki real quick. So this is what damage cap is 110k per hit, and this is 500k. This is 600k per hit. So obviously after like seraphic bonuses and damage cap from your grid and stuff, it's obviously going to hit for a bit more. This is 50k supplemental, which is obviously going to apply to everything else as well. So like she seems like she can put out a lot of like skill damage. But she seems, like I said, she seems super simple but pretty good. I don't know if she would necessarily fit on a lot of teams, but like she's one of those characters where like if you don't have a filled out roster, she seems, and you got her, she seems fantastic. She seems like she can just shit out a bunch of damage, and pretty quickly as well. Like she might be a decent OTK character as well. If you're struggling to do like a low button OTK, if you need to hit a few buttons, you hit this and then you Ogi and you get that's a bunch of skill damage right there, just from that. So yeah, that's those new characters. Cool. They seem pretty good. We got a new Water Grand finally after 50 years. And some 2 new summer characters who seem pretty decent. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.